The Chicago Bears are being crowned as the 2025 off-season champions around the NFL. But I want to explain why this is different from the last two off seasons or any of the past off seasons in the last 30 years. One of the craziest things that I've heard from our fan base and received in the comments section this year is how this off season is just like every other year. And this is the same thing the Bears always do. I don't understand this thought process at all. And it's not just a couple of fans. There's an entire section of our fan base and media that seem to believe the Bears are always winners in the offseason. This is crazy to me. It makes me think that these people either actually never paid attention or they really haven't been fans that long. Because the Bears have never had off seasons like this in my entire lifetime. We've never had trades like the fleecing that we did to the Carolina Panthers. We've spent the majority of my lifetime being careless with draft picks and overpaying for past production and free agency. This team has been fleeced more than it has fleeced anyone else. This is the franchise that gave up on Greg Olson. And not only did they take Mitch Trubisky over Patrick Mahomes, but we traded up to do that. One of the worst trades in franchise history. Not only did the 49ers convince the Bears to give up 3 quality draft picks to move up just one spot in the draft, but the Bears also did it to pass up on a generational quarterback prospect to take a guy who started 13 career games in college. On top of that, the 49ers had zero plans to draft a quarterback with that pick anyway, and the Bears would give up 2 third rounders and a 4th rounder to move up just one spot, and then they took one of the biggest busts in team history. Yes, Mitch Trubisky technically made a Pro Bowl, but it's not just him. It's what the Bears paid to move up to get him and the player they passed on to do so. Overall, it was a terrible pick and one of the worst trades in franchise history. But there are other things our past GMs have always done. They simply were careless with draft picks and in free agency. We had a history of signing bad free agents and paying for past production and old players who are nowhere near what they used to be. We also gave Mike Glennon 3 years and $45 million in 2017. A couple other recent examples, Cody Parkey got 4 years and $15 million in 2018. Trey Burton got 4 years and $32 million. We overpaid guys like Jared Allen, Orlando Pace, Nick Foles, Andy Dalton, and so many other failed experiments. Ryan Poles, meanwhile, is investing in this young roster and supplementing talent around them. And that is not the same thing that's happened every other offseason. The Bears have never had 3 straight years with top 10 picks in my entire lifetime, which isn't necessarily a positive thing, but it shows how much young talent is on this roster. But we also haven't added an all-pro offensive lineman since we added Reuben Brown nearly 20 years ago. The Bears have never had 3 straight years where the media said they won the offseason. That has simply never happened, and it shows what Ryan Poles is doing to change things in Chicago. But for some reason, everyone still wanted to fire Ryan Poles. Yes, every team's fan base is optimistic in the offseason, but saying that it's the same thing that happens every year, it shows me that some people really aren't paying attention to what this team is doing right now or what they actually did in the past. Simply put, this franchise has been horrible in the offseason for the majority of the last 25 plus years. They have not won every offseason. The people pushing that narrative just continue to not understand how Ryan Poles has changed things for this franchise. This team is now winning off seasons, and winning off seasons is how you eventually win football games. I also believe we would have won a lot more games last year had our coaching staff not completely failed us. Now that Ben Johnson has the keys to turn things around, and I believe our days of winning the offseason are going to come to an end. While we're going to continue to build and have good off seasons, the majority of this rebuild is already completed, and Ryan Poles is now shifting his focus towards keeping this team competitive long term. So there probably won't be as many splash free agent signings, especially as more of this young core roster earns their second contracts. And like I've been saying all along, I'm excited for the future of this team. And anyone who notices any changes with the graphics or design, my rebrand is underway. I will have a new logo, new designs, and a new look to the channel starting later this week. This video is a bit of a preview as I transition over. I didn't want to just click a switch and switch everything right away, but the rebrand will officially be out by the end of this week. Special shout out to J2K Designs, my guy. Thanks again to everyone who watches. Please remember to hit that like button for me. Stay tuned. And until next time, bear down.